2nd of Jan, time is 9:45. Tambis Oasis में क्या होता है, एक whole day का जो thoughts आया, जो ऐसा ideas आया and जो observation मैंने निकाला, I'll just express through this video. So this is the whole concept of Tambis Oasis. So this video might be little long or little detailed or overboard भी आएगा कुछ topics or points. So if you have that patience or if you have that कि okay सुन लेते इसका thoughts और इसका topics, you are happily invited for this video and welcome to Tambis Oasis. Good night and sleep tight. So आज थोड़ा articulate करके थोड़ा constructive way में जाने का कोशिश किया. I channelized my thoughts and made few interesting points and interesting observations. पापा के साथ conversation के साथ आया from observing few podcasts. So first point is meaning is very subjective. When I say मतलब कुछ reviews मिला from my relatives or from my father also that I'm using so much foul language in my videos. Factually saying, I am using that word bancho too many times. Criticism mila ki you are using foul languages and that might not cater to so many audience. So उधर से मैंने एक observe निकाला वो है कि the word bencho that I use that doesn't carry that same value of the pictography of that word. When I use the word bencho, I'm not addressing I'm not addressing that word for that picture. I'm just addressing that bencho for an frustration, like fuck bencho, that's a type. Like that doesn't carry that same amount of meaning. But for the person who is not familiar that these kind of words are also addressing that frustration or this is not a synonym, मतलब it is a नाना धरो type. एक word को different meanings में तो use कर सकता है. So these words are all used for many other purposes. So वो differ करता है for every person to person. So for a person who is been upbringing in a noble family, noble respected family, to him listening these words will project the factual image of that word. But for the person who is like me, मतलब okay चलेगा वैसा type, like who is going with the flow type according to the surroundings or environment, so he takes the meaning in that way, like frustration way, that way. So एक observation निकाला कि that meaning is very subjective, word is very subjective, कि one word you are using in one surrounding or one circle will be different for another person. उस हिसाब से एक हर एक person एक right लेके जाता है. So if you are going to respect that person also, you have to take some changes in yourself. And another very interesting thing that my father has suggested is create a new word, create a new vocabulary, create a new dictionary that depicts that same meaning, but you are not using that foul language. बहन चोद को कुछ और के crazy word तूने कुछ खोज के निकाल that delivers that same message or the same meaning, that frustration also gives that impact of the word, but it doesn't showcase that same actual factual image. Hope you are understanding what I'm saying. That suggest was very interesting to me. That doesn't affect anyone, offend नहीं करेगा किसी को. So first point was the word and the message is very subjective. हर एक बंदे को अलग अलग word को अलग अलग meaning देगा. If you are using that word will reflect that same value of that person who is giving for that. Choose the words rightly. And the second point is the value of death. Death will change your life. एक controversial और वैसा एक thought है कि रामायण में without the death of Ravan in Ramayan has no value. मतलब रावण का मरना जरूरी है उधर. So without the killing of Ravan, Ramayan is incomplete. आना चाहिए. It's not a perfect ending without the death of Ravan. The death of Ravan carries some value to the whole saga of Ramayan. So वैसा ही एक person का death will affect someone. Like पापा ने एक और भी address किया कि रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर का कुछ उन्होंने एक statement दिया है कि if you are giving me that respect or if you are offering some garlands, do before I die. Offer it before I die. So वो एक स्टेटमेंट दिया था एंड आई काइंड ऑफ डिसएग्री विद दैट कि वन आर्टिस्ट विल गेट दैट रेस्पेक्ट और वैल्यू आफ्टर हिज डेथ. वो एक कल्चर है. तो डेथ के बाद यू विल स्टार्ट टू नोटिस कि वैसा टाइप की एनालॉजी समझो कि सब लोग रेस में दौड़ रहे हैं. अ पर्सन डेथ इज द फुल स्टॉप ऑफ हिज रेस. मतलब वो सब लोग पैरेलली दौड़ रहे हैं. वन पर्सन विल कोलैप्स. सब लोग एक एनर्जी आएगा कि भाई क्या हो गया. So that person death will grab your attention कि भाई क्या होगा, ये दौड़ क्यों नहीं रहा है. After the death you will give that attention. कुछ तो हो गया इसके लाइफ में. So then you will start digging into that person. Then you will start respecting that person or anything. एक आर्टिस्ट उसका लाइफ जीता रहेगा, कुछ तो ऐसा मास्टरपीस बनाया रहेगा. You will still not acknowledge because masterpiece didn't grab your attention. But because of the death of an artist, you will stop your race. You will pause your race. You will turn back and look for his life कि भाई कौन है ये, कौन क्यों मर गया ये, and what are his achievements. So you will start digging into that person after the person death. The person death has some value and it will only increase after that because you will invest your time, you will invest your life understanding that person. एंड कुछ कुछ डिबेट हुआ था एंड काइंड ऑफ इट डिडंट कंक्लूड टू एनी पॉइंट, बट एक प्रॉपर डिस्कशन हुआ था. लाइक व्हेन वी आर हैविंग लंच, I had a proper discussion, debate or discussion with my father about this topic. Previous episode में भी मैंने एक address किया था point. If your friend is choosing for suicide and somehow his suicide or his death gives you a new perspective of caring, मतलब तुझे एक emotion एक आएगा कि you will enhance your caring towards other person because of his death. You will enhance your way of handling the responsibilities because of his death. So एक मेरा एक डायलेमा और एक क्वेश्चन था कि इफ योर फ्रेंड इज सो कॉन्फिडेंट enough that he's ready to face the consequences of death, and opting for suicide is only the easy way or to the one of the solutions for that problem, and the friend's death is offering you that this many upgrade in your life, these many values in your life, so will you support that ki okay, because of your death I'm going to enrich myself, I'm going to care more about people. So because of the death वो domino effect create करके तू जब तू ये करेगा, will you still support? I hope you are understanding कि अगर इसका डेथ इतना वैल्यू दे रहा है तो will you proceed with that decision? Will you agree to that? Will you agree to your friend's decision? मतलब वो ये होना चाहिए कि your death should cater to your caring ones. Some purpose होना चाहिए your death का. Suicide होने के बाद people should talk about the purpose of your death. People should value some respect for the death. अगर वैसा respectful death अगर नहीं है, so don't opt for suicide. That is my opinion or expression कि वैसा मत करो. If your death is providing some catering for your caring ones, okay, you can. कभी कभी give up करना भी जरूरी होता है. And another point connecting to that argument was is getting murdered. अगर किसी ने सामने से आके तुझे मार दिया, लाइक चाकू घुसेड़ दिया तेरे बॉडी में, is getting murdered is equal to getting suicide because you are also giving up for that situation demanded that you give up कि okay, he is very strong, I can't defend myself, तो मैं मर जाऊंगा उसके हाथ में. I draw that same parallel with suicide, that एक सिचुएशन आके तेरे ऊपर इतना बड़ा गिर गया, ओके कुछ ज्यादा ही स्ट्रांग है सिचुएशन, आई कांट हैंडल, so I give up. So I draw that parallel between these two. And एक और एक observation linking to that death parties, I address that गौतम बुद्ध का सीन कि पहले एक राजा था, he was given that position of a prince and a king, and one day one realization struck to his mind, and he opted for a saint way of living and leaving that king side of his life and going to the saint way. So I see that is also a suicide of that king. एक दिन आके छोड़ दिया अपना पूरा राज्य और अपना लोग और अपना परिवार को छोड़ दिया, त्याग दिया. He's also performing a suicide act and he's rebirthing himself into a saint one. He's taking up a new character. He has ended one character and he took up a new position. So that is also a kind of suicide, but this is a progressive way of suicide. This is a very deep level of psychological question है. Question मतलब एक thought है कि rebirthing yourself is also a suicide and is a good suicide. You are letting out all your bads and you are giving a chance कि okay, start a new life. I draw that parallels with the new year resolution part कि एक लाइफ तूने 2023 में जी लिया and that part of your life has ended and a new year, a new you is going to start. So एक न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशन को फॉलो करना एक जरूरी है, एंड व्हेन यू आर फॉलोइंग इट इज अ गुड सुसाइडल वे, लेटिंग आउट ऑल द बैड स्टफ और व्हाट यू थॉट इट इज अ बैड स्टफ. सो बैड इज आल्सो वेरी सब्जेक्टिव, एज आई सेड. डोंट लिसन टू ऑल दैट अदर की जो तू सही कर रहा है वो गलत है, जब दो तीन लोग बोलेंगे कि भाई तू गलत कर रहा है, बट इफ यू आर थिंकिंग दैट दिस द वे यू आर एक्टिंग इज राइट, डू दैट एक्ट करने से पहले तुझे कॉन्फिडेंट और यू हैव टू बी सो प्रिसाइज एनफ कि समवन आस्क यू व्हाई यू आर डूइंग दिस, यू शुड हैव दैट क्रिस्टल क्लियर आंसर कि व्हाई आई एम डूइंग दिस. अगर वो कॉन्फिडेंस अगर वो नहीं है, डोंट डू दैट एक्ट एकदम ब्लाइंडली. वो करने के पहले यू हैव टू बी सो प्री डिटरमाइंड कि why I am doing this and what is the purpose and what are the after effects. If you have the proper knowledge doing that act, proceed with that act. Don't think that is a good way or a bad way. अगर तुझे हार्म करना है किसी को, नो व्हाई यू आर हार्मिंग एंड व्हाट आर द आफ्टर कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ हार्मिंग दैट पर्सन, एंड यू आर क्लियर एनफ कि ओके मुझे मारना है इसको, गो विद इट. दैट्स द वे आई सी द वर्ल्ड. अगर तुझे बुरा काम करना है लोग के हिसाब से वो बुरा काम है, एंड यू आर कॉन्फिडेंट एंड क्लियर एनफ कि मुझे करना ही है, द मेन थिंग इज यू हैव टू फेस दैट कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस. एक एवरी एक्ट हैज वन consequences either in a good way or a bad way, and you should take up that consequence. You have to ready enough for that consequence. वो एक observation मैंने किया है. हाँ, and in the evening एक और discussion और एक thought आया, वो है कि how does a geography decides how you are behaving. For example, if I want to elaborate that statement, let's take up in the India only. India is divided into mainly two parts. मतलब अलग पार्ट्स भी, ईस्ट वेस्ट भी है, मेनली टू पार्ट्स, नॉर्थ इंडिया एंड साउथ इंडिया. सो जोग्राफिकली देखा जाए, नॉर्थ इंडिया इज वेरी वल्नरेबल टू अदर कंट्रीज. इन्वेडिंग अदर कंट्रीज में वल्नरेबल है. सो इन द प्लेसेस ऑफ राजस्थान और पंजाब, दे आर easily invaded. So तभी क्या होता है, people need to be strong enough to defend themselves from others. So तभी क्या करेंगे, लोग को ट्रेन करेंगे to build up their body, और वैसा टाइप उसमें बहुत रहेगा. दिस इज द रीजन व्हाई द पीपल इन पंजाब एंड राजस्थान, वो राजपूत्स, so they are strong enough, they are built different, they have the crazy body, like maharaja type body. Ek soldier has also that maharaja body, and that continued, that DNA continued through the generation past, and even that culture is followed ki, because of that geographical part easily invaded, people need to train themselves to defend. So uske liye wo body और ये सब किया है. And because also of that cool temperature, इक्वेटर से थोड़ा दूर है नॉर्थ इंडिया, तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ऑल्सो ड्रिंकिंग कल्चर इन पंजाब, it is very normal to train themselves to adapt to that environment. And we come to the down south, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, it is very near to the equator, so people are little dark skinned. And I also have that कि एक dark skin बंदा लंदन में जी रहा है, he will face that problem कि because of the dark pigments of his skin, he will be exposed to that kind of environment, and he will, some disease may occurs because of that skin placing in the northern region, which is farther from the, which is far cooler. And this is the reason why people in north and war type area, they are very pale white in color because of that geography. They are white in color, and down south they are different color because of that geography. You need to be that dark skin to get adapted with that environment, to get adapted with the temperature and the sun heat. And this observation, that this fact gave me very interesting thoughts कि मैं पूरा कल्चर में ब्रेनस्टॉर्म कर दिया, कल्चर में चला गया. इफ यू गो टू द अब्रॉड, मतलब वेरी फार फ्रॉम इक्वेटर एंड वेरी क्लोज टू नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर, द टेम्परेचर इज वेरी कूल, मतलब माइनस में जाएगा. सो देयर ना you will get closer to the drinking part, alcohol. It will give you the body some heat to adapt with that environment, to adapt with the cultural atmosphere. Consuming alcohol and having that cigarettes and having sex is very common in that area. This is the reason why sex is normalized in that northern countries or northern states. Having sex and having a relationship, physical relationship with some partner is common and normalized. But in the down south, the temperature is very hot, and you don't need that much of heat inside your body. Like external heat ज्यादा रहेगा, you don't need exclusive top up heat, you don't need in that state or countries. So इधर क्या आता है, the consumption of alcohol and cigarettes are reduced in the downstate. And because of the temple construction and architecture, after sunset, the temple will provide some cool atmosphere or cool weather नहीं, एक cool environment देगा. The temples in the south, because of its stone and some architectural फॉर्मूला और एक कूलनेस जो है वो प्रोवाइड करेगा फॉर दैट पीपल. सो पीपल will go to that temples in the evening. Down south has developed this kind of cultures. This cool environment is helping me to escape that heat from the पूरा day and afternoon का heat. Temple is providing that coolness. So temple जाना start किया वो लोग ने. And having that proper oiled hair will also help for that strong heat and strong sun rays for that, and it will also nourish you in some way. But having that same culture in the north is very different. You can't adapt. मतलब एक तू नॉर्थ जाके तेल उतना ज्यादा मतलब कर सकते पता नहीं, बट यू डोंट चूज कि मेरा हेयर ऑयल होना चाहिए इन द नॉर्थर्न हेमिस्फीयर में. यू डोंट सी मेनी पीपल हैविंग एन ऑयल ऑन ऑयल अप्लाइंग ऑन दैट हेयर. कल्चरल फिनोमेना तक इफेक्ट करता है, वेयर वाज योर अपब्रिंगिंग, एंड पूरा कल्चरल डेवलप करेगा बिकॉज ऑफ द जोग्राफिकल पार्ट. दिस पार्ट गेम इज सो मच इंटरेस्टिंग, एंड कुछ तो सब नया थॉट्स आ रहा है कि ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ द जोग्राफी सम way of living, way of upbringing and cultural very different from each other. And India में because of that all states है, मतलब साउथ इंडिया इज वेरी क्लोज टू इक्वेटर, सो हीट है, एंड नॉर्थ में थोड़ा ऊपर है, सो कूल टेम्परेचर भी है, एंड ईस्ट वेस्ट वैसा टाइप है. Because of that valleys, mountains and many forest areas and green areas and drought areas and इतना सब है, because of that geography we have developed so many cultures in many parts. मतलब अगर आंध्रा में ही देखा जाए, बिफोर पार्टीशन आंध्रा एंड तेलंगाना, तेलंगाना का कल्चर अलग रहेगा बिकॉज ऑफ दैट एनवायरमेंट एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ज्योग्राफी. एंड आंध्रा का अलग रहेगा. डाउन आंध्रा इज वेरी ड्रॉट एंड उतना वाटर रिसोर्सेस नहीं है. सो दिस कल्चर हैज दैट स्पाइस इन देयर लैंड. कारम, मिर्ची, ये सब आंध्रा में कल्टिवेट करेंगे. कि पीपल ऑल्सो शुड बी पैरेलल विद द टेम्परेचर. मतलब अगर बाहर 40 डिग्रीज है, your body should be close enough for to match the temperature to have less amount of damage. अगर बाहर 40 and your body's temperature is around 36, that will affect your body. So having that spice in your body, it will also generate some heat in your body. So तेरा body temperature थोड़ा बढ़ेगा, like 36 to 36.97. You will go parallel with that environment. So अगर वापस तेलंगाना में जाए, it is comparatively cool enough. So उधर ना मिर्ची का need नहीं है. That want for spice in their life is not that much. And because of that heat temperature also, the want of sex in southern region is not that much. Having a physical relationship with anyone is not normal in southern when compared to north. And north में, because of the temperature and this, sex also will produce some heat in your body. So because of that, alag rahe. So the rabbit hole mein ghus gaya tha, and that led to many answers that I'm finding and many questions that are raised. So ये भी एक interesting fact लगा. So that's it for मेरी मतलब आज के दिन में इतना इंटरेस्टिंग चीज और इंटरेस्टिंग ऑब्जर्वेशन थॉट्स यही था. कि फर्स्ट वन वाज word and meaning is very subjective. The same word carries the different meanings according to different peoples. So that one was the first observation. Second observation was the value of some death will carry some part of value, and death will grab your attention, and your cause of death and your purpose of death should be in higher level. मतलब समझो कोई मरा and you are not having a conversation. मतलब the death is not creating that much discussion in the society. You're not having a proper life. मतलब तेरा डेथ कुछ तो कॉन्वर्जेशन स्टार्टर आना चाहिए. सो वैसा टाइप अगर लाइफ जीने का ट्राई करो. एंड थर्ड पार्ट इज कल्चरल फिनोमेना बिकॉज ऑफ द जोग्राफिकल पार्ट. मेनली दिस थ्री मेन हाई हीटेड टॉपिक मतलब दैट आई हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड इन दैट होल डे. या एंड आई वांट टू लेट इट आउट. ये सब मुझे याद भी नहीं रहेगा कल का. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पॉइंट्स लेटिंग इट आउट, I will the space is created in my mind. So I will invite some new fresh thoughts to get sit in my brain and live for the whole day. This content might be some long, but if you have that patience or a podcast type अगर earphone लगा के कुछ तो काम कर रहे हो, so it will be good enough कि you're not also wasting your time, you're also doing a productive thing, but also listening to thoughts of Tambis. So thank you for listening. So कल मिलते हैं 11 o'clock यही टाइम पे. Thank you. Good night and sleep tight. Dump your old thoughts, invite some new thoughts, invite me in your thoughts. If some points or some thoughts was very interesting and if you want to talk about it, please mention in the comment section that I want to talk on this topic. So feel free to comment. Please like and subscribe. So have some patience, develop some patience skills in your life.